at the trailhead. This is the Springs Valley Loop Trail in the Hoosier National Forest. We're going to go in for a 3-day and 2-night backpack trip. Okay, we got into camp before sunset and got everything set up. And there's my gear right there. It's the Warbonnet Ridge Runner with the Warbonnet Spindrift, made specifically for that hammock. Up above it, I've got the Old Man Winter from Wilderness Logic. That's the 13-foot Ridgeline edition, made specifically for the bridge hammocks. It allows the doors to completely close. And I've got my Osprey Atmos 65. Got a pretty good setup here. We don't have any % chance of rain tonight, so just going to leave the tarp like that in its snakeskin. And if we do need it, we can get up later on and open it up. Takes about 3 to 5 minutes and you're completely covered up. There, of course, is the food bag hanging up off the ground to keep the raccoons out of it. There's Brian's setup there, which is a Warbonnet with a Ridge Runner with a Spindrift. And over there is Mule's setup, same. There are the guys over there working on the fire pit. And let's see. Over there is Mike's gear. He has a gathered end hammock. So, pretty nice camp. It's going to be down to around 35, 34 degrees tonight. And it should be a good time. That's the moon coming up over the ridge through the trees. Gonna be very bright tonight. Full moon. That's where we came from. A pine thicket back up the ridge there. And onward. Okay, I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look real careful, right there is what we call a ground scrape. It's where a buck, when he's in rut, which is their mating season, will actually scrape that clear, and then he will pee, and if you look real close you can see where it's still just a little damp right there. Then there's a small tree right here, and if you look at that, on the very ends, put this pole down, on the very ends you can see where it's kind of broke off, and there's a couple of them here, and they're a little bit discolored. What that is where they will rub the fluid that comes out of their eye, and I believe it's got the pheromones and stuff in it. So Basically what this is an advertisement to all the does in the area that, hey, I'm here and I'm available. And it is also a warning to the other bucks. So, just a little bit about southern Indiana and the whitetail deer. Well, there's the boat ramp. And just in those trees, the other side of the boat ramp is where we're parked. Now it's interesting, here in southern Indiana you only have about a 4-month window from about mid-November through mid-March that you actually can see views like this. The rest of the time the woods is way too thick. And we're going to call this lunch.
Wherever you go, there you are.
Well, this is what lunch looks like on the trail. And yeah, the temps dropped a little bit. Fashion statement.
It doesn't have a hill next to it. Should we get a picture of that, man? You got that on film.
I think I almost broke it.
Get your camera out.
That's over. The party's over.
No, it's not over yet. Oh, he does have his camera out. Good. Didn't notice.
Hold on.
It ain't coming down from up there.
One more time. Big one up the hill.
Too bad we don't have a saw with us. We saw it off where it didn't drag the ground.
Yeah, because he's carrying a whole bunch of
Then it would really go.
weight with it.
Yeah. Well done, Mike.
Mighty Mike.
Tore it up pretty good.
That was hard to resist, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
Now that is an ancient oak. No telling how many hundreds of years old that is. A lot of personality there in that old guy.
Go ahead and rub it on your
It looks like it's part of the vine, though. Coming part of the vine.
That's an old spring house. It's where a spring came out of the hillside. And many, many years ago, the pioneers that were homesteading this area would build these shelters around the springs. And in the summer it kept their vegetables cool, which preserved them longer. And in the winter it kept the spring from freezing, so they always had a good supply of fresh water. Well, if you look close, you can see what looks like an old road bed. What that is the Buffalo Trace. In the pioneer days, this was a wagon train trail that led from the east to the west. And the reason they picked this particular route, and the reason it's called the Buffalo Trace, is because they actually followed the migrating buffalo. So, a little bit of nostalgia there. History. Pretty unique. You can actually still see the old road bed coming right through the woods. No telling how many hundreds of thousands of horse and mule and oxen drawn wagons came down this very path. Pretty cool. Let's give you a little bit of perspective of how high the ridges are. Over there on the other side of the lake is where we walked yesterday and then this morning. We were actually camped somewhere, let's see, over this ridge in the end of another finger of the lake. There's the dam. If you look really hard, you can see some hikers. See if we can get them here. Hard to hold camera still. Making hot chocolate. There's the fire master.
H-A-U-M-H-A-W-Ms. He's a Vietnamese Zen master, and he is in exile. Him and his priest were able to win.
Well, this is Sunday morning, morning 2 of our weekend expedition here in Springs Valley. Just got the fire torn apart to cool down, and then we'll take care of that. We sort of go with the leave no trace. There's the water filtration system. That is the bag that Steve is making, which is fantastic. You just put it in the water and it does like a parachute, opens up, and you can get the water out of it easily. Or I guess actually get the water into it. There's my setup. Mike's over there. Steve's over there, and there's Brian. So, nice place. It's a great weekend. Now we've got about a 2-mile hike out. It's a nice valley there. You can see another one of those spring houses. Well, guys, this is a true spring right here. Come here and check this out.
Lightweight.
He's been in there about 3 or 4 minutes now. Oh, there he comes. Explorer man.
I used to get my flashlight, so I used the flashlight on my camera.
Yeah, I'll sit here.
It'll be about
This is a
maybe
perfect.
another half an hour.
Yeah, that big rock over there that was around the corner, that's a perfect place to sit and have beer.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, the water's down, so this affords you the opportunity of just walking around the edge of the lake, and it's cut off at least a mile, mile and a half of some really rugged terrain.
Hang out and party.